Hi, this is Mika from Go Big Coaching, and today I would like to talk about Get Stuff Done Friday. You saw that I usually call it a little different, but I abbreviated GSD Friday, so same difference. And this is, as far as I am concerned, one of the most helpful tools for me in my business life and to a certain extent also in my private life. I think freelancers or everybody who works on their own schedule will probably benefit a little more from this tool, but I think it holds benefits for absolutely everybody. You just have to tweak it a little and do it a little differently than I do it. So what I do is I spend about 1 hour every Friday and 2 to 3 hours on the last Friday of the month to do stuff I don't like doing. So that's the stuff I usually push forward on my to-do list and hope that it will just go away, which of course it doesn't. And then it can actually get you in trouble, right? If you just push stuff out too long, you might lose track of certain things. And so to prevent that from happening, I introduced GSD Friday for me about 2 or 3 years ago, and it's been super helpful. So what do I do with this 1 hour up to 3 hours, depending which Friday of the month it is? First of all, I take 0 appointments. I don't meet with clients on Fridays, at least not in the morning when I do my stuff. I may schedule doctor's appointments just because, it's my appointment-free day, so I know I can do that. But other than that, I really sit down and work through the things I have on my list. And that is pretty much, it's 3 different areas. Number 1, finance. So what I do every Friday is I go over my accounts and my credit cards and fill in my income and expenses spreadsheets. That is super annoying. I really don't enjoy that, but what I enjoy is that despite the fact that I am self-employed, my taxes take me about 2 hours to complete. And I usually do it in February because it's really not that big of a deal anymore. I used to spend an entire weekend on taxes, but now that I do GSD Friday, it's really a matter of 2 hours. So that I love, and I love that more than I hate sitting down and checking my accounts every week. It also makes me feel competent and on top of things. That's a good thing too. The other thing in this field is I write and send out invoices. And that's another task I really didn't like doing, but I've sort of reframed it for myself. So what I do these days is that I say, thank you for the money every time I send off an email. And that gives me a good feeling. It's like, yes. So that's what I do in terms of finance. My second point is planning. So I sit down, I make my first list for the next week to end this work week. I plan ahead, and so that gives me a good overview which days are very busy, which days won't be that busy. It will also show me if I schedule some private time, socializing with friends. If not, I'll reach out to friends. Or if I see that my weekends are all open, I might reach out to someone back in Germany to have a longer talk and chat a bit, catch up, or I might reach out to a friend to go hiking, these things. So I feel really that looking at my next week on Friday of the week before puts me in a very good place. It's my favorite anti-anxiety tool, to be fair, because I know that my schedule will change as I go ahead with the next week, but just having as much scheduled as possible is very helpful for me. So that's why I do it. Also, on the last Friday every month, I add some time to book networking event tickets for the months ahead. So I have a couple of favorites. I always go to those events. So I buy my tickets for these events and I try to also check out a new thing. Seattle has a lot of networking events, so that's relatively easy for me. I go on Eventbrite and I just scout around if there's anything coming up that I might want to try. That's how I found a couple of my favorites. And then I try to go to 4 events a month. And those tickets I buy on the last Friday of the month. And point number 3, I do admin stuff. So that is a bit more flexible, this point, but there is one thing above all that I do, and that is clearing my inbox, as far as possible, of course. If stuff has deadlines further out, of course it stays in my inbox. But clearing my inbox as far as possible, that puts me in such a good mood for the weekend. And that applies to both my business account and my private account. It's a good day to reach out to friends, chat a little, or to answer those non-urgent emails from clients. So that's what I do. And on the last Friday of the month, at least, sometimes more often, I also go over my For Later folder. That is, Deal With Later is one of my folders on my desktop where I put in articles and stuff that I might want to still read. And especially on that sideboard behind me, I tend to build stacks of Deal With Later things. Today it's of course very nice because I knew I would do videos, so it's all on the ground right now. That's where it is. But tomorrow is Friday, and that's when I will go over that stack and yeah, clear the deck. I really feel good doing that. That puts me in a great weekend mood. A lot of anxiety is prevented or goes away this way. So it's become a habit. So most of the tasks I used to hate, I now grudgingly do. Some I've even learned to enjoy and embrace. And I hope this tool is helpful for you to try it out. Let me know what you think. And if you like this video, just share it with your friends. Follow me on YouTube, on Instagram. I share a lot of tips on Instagram. This was it for today. I am Mika, and I'm here to help you go big.